James, one of our fantastic
guys.
physios here at Fix It. James is also a triathlon coach and also triathlete himself. And I've been able to scam James just off a few patient times, and I'm just asking him about what are some of the go-to stretches that he uses with his clients.
Yeah.
Or if he were going to be a runner, he's going to have a chat to you about what his advice would be around running particularly, and what sort of stuff you should have in your program.
Yeah, so obviously flexibility is one of those things that I think everyone should be doing.
Yeah.
It's important to make sure you're stretching after your runs and things like that, just because tight muscles and running, obviously they don't mix well, and they generally have a pretty good recipe for injury.
Absolutely, they do, don't they?
Right.
And James has a really good point. Like, stretching when you're warm, you'll get your better results out of a change in range. And your warm-up is a different sort of beast altogether. But what we're talking about here is maintaining range, and how do we do that?
Yeah. So a couple of stretches that I probably would go to. So we're going to talk about a hip flexor stretch.
Fantastic.
Do you want me to go through that one first?
Yeah, let's do that, James.
All right, so what we'll do...
Stuck out the road a bit?
Yes, so what you're going to do, you're going to come down into a kneeling position. If you're just on the floor, you might even want to just use a towel unless you've got a yoga mat. Okay.
Which we just happen to have.
Yes. So the key about this one is making sure you got good hip position. Okay. So a lot of people who do this stretch, okay, they often have a poor pelvic position. So you really want to make sure your pelvis is tilted in this position. Okay. So you don't really want to see that lower arch in your lower back. So coming up in this position, I can already feel a stretch starting. If you still can't feel a stretch when you bring that pelvis around, you can have a slight lean forward from there. And you'll feel that in your hip flexors, which are these muscles on the front of your hip, okay? Now, if I was to hold that for, say, your 30-second stretch, that is generally what I would probably recommend.
Fantastic.
Okay? And that's a nice, easy one that everyone can do.
James, if someone hasn't done a tuck under before with their pelvis, what do they use to get that to happen?
So if you're trying to get that tuck under, you generally want to, it's a funny sort of a movement, so you want to make sure that you're getting that bit of a tuck like this, okay? And you want to make sure if your hip flexors are tight, you will struggle doing that, so it's one of those things that we generally look out for.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly right, and runners are notorious.
Yes, of course.
So it's an awesome stretch for you guys.
Yeah, especially office workers and things like that. We often sit with those muscles tight all day and then going out and running. So it's a really good idea that we do stretch those muscles out.
Fantastic. What's our second one, James?
So second one is pretty much the opposite. So we're going to stretch the front of the hip. We also want to stretch the back of the hip. So these glute muscles, okay? So a nice easy one that you can do is you can lie onto your back, okay? You can bring that ankle over your other knee, and then you can just pull that knee up, and I can feel, even in that position, just a really nice stretch on this glute. Okay?
Who doesn't love lying down to do a stretch?
I know, it's a nice easy one. You can do it, I don't know, after dinner when you're watching TV, just sitting there relaxing.
And also relaxing into this one's a really good thing. So if you can't get to where James is to start with, obviously just relax into it, or even use a towel around here, and holding the towel.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Very good. And then...
and I heard you've got a secret stretch for the third one.
Yeah, so general, obviously calf stretching, one of those things that everyone does. So a nice little one that people might not always do is just modifying a little bit. So it's a nice easy one that to combine with the other two that we've done, because you don't need to stand up to do it, okay? So what you're going to do, you're going to start with the foot flat on the ground, okay? And you're going to bring that close towards your hips, okay? From there, you're going to lean forward, okay? And you're just going to feel a nice stretch in through this calf, okay? You might even feel that through the Achilles there as well, okay? Now, you don't want to lean forward to the point where the heel comes off. You want to make sure that the heel is staying flat on the ground, okay? My flexibility is probably not that good. Someone else might get a little bit more ankle range than what I can get before they actually feel the stretch. But it's a nice, really nice stretch that you can feel just up the back of your lower leg, okay?
That's fantastic, James. So just running through those three again. The first one?
Yep, so the first one is your hip flexor stretch. Okay, so muscle on the front of our hip, making sure we get that pelvic tuck before we lean forward. Okay, from there you can stretch the back of your hip. So just lying onto your back, ankle over, and then pulling up. And this is your glute stretch. And then from your last one, you can just go straight back into what we just spoke about. So foot flat, slight leaning forward onto that knee, keeping that foot down, and you should feel a really nice stretch up the back of your
I
leg.
reckon you could work on that one, James.
I definitely need to work on that one.
All right. So thanks heaps, James. So if you're watching our series, you
Yes.
may or may not have caught the strength one yet, but jump in and have a look at the strength video
Yes.
that we did. And this is our stretching one. So
Yep.
we'll see you soon, and hopefully with some more information.
No worries, guys.
See ya.